Hello Commanders, the next track is The Great Expedition, another piece from my album Aphelion and used on the Elite Dangerous audiobooks. It's dedicated to all those explorers out there on the frontier. If you'd like to listen to more of my work, you can find it on SoundCloud at Alan-Stroud-1.
Hi, I'm David Lowe, aka Uncle Art. Back in 1993, I wrote and coded the two main themes to Frontier Elite 2. I had no idea at the time how popular those tracks would become to fans of the game. So in 2016, my daughter Holly and I ran a Kickstarter to fund a re-recording of the tracks. It was a great success, and we went to Abbey Road Studio 2, where the Chamber Orchestra of London performed and recorded the themes. It's all on film. Look on Amazon Movies for Uncle Art. This next track is the main theme to Frontier, recorded that day and featured on the album A Temporal Shift. For more of my video game music recreations, please visit uncleartretrogaming.com and stay tuned for more great music here on Lave Radio.
Hi there, my name's Chloe, and you're about to listen to my track Triangle. If you like it, feel free to visit www.soundcloud.com/chollyhappymusic to hear more. Enjoy your flight with Lave Radio.
Galnet News Digest, 17th of October 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, we look at Thargoid spire sites and Felicia Winter's victory over Jerome Archer.
The bubble is still reeling from the arrival on Monday of the Thargoid spires, which developed from the Barnacle Matrix sites. The 45 sites appear to be supply bases for the Thargoid invasion. Orthrus interceptors appear to be particularly common visitors, along with scouts, revenants, and the new banshee, which guard the sites. We still have limited information about the sites and about how their operation influences the invasion. There are, however, materials and other items that are collectible, some using an SRV and others on foot. Professor Palin has been writing to people who turn in interesting items to his base in the Arc system, encouraging them to collect more. It seems that it may also be possible to deactivate some parts of the complex, effectively sabotaging the Thargoid war effort. The Orthrus interceptors are using the supersized barnacles to rearm, so turning them off may restrict the Thargoid's ability to invade new systems. We're still learning how these mechanisms work. The huge flat platforms sticking out of the spires are unusually convenient for parking even a very large spaceship while exploring the interesting bioluminescent fungi and the similarly green interactable points on the walls of the spire. Commanders are encouraged to try out all the tools in their suits to see which might be effective in shutting down the Thargoid operation.
the victory of Felicia Winters in the presidential election may make a huge difference to the Federation's domestic and international politics, but we won't see that in action until she assumes office next year. Winters, who leads the Liberal Party, won a slender victory over President Hudson's deputy Jerome Archer. When she assumes office, she's expected to undo many of the Hudson administration's more authoritarian changes, and she's expected to disband the Proactive Detection Bureau as well. Unusually, Winters was briefly the acting president before Hudson, following the disappearance of President Jasmina Halsey, after sabotage perpetrated by Hudson's crony Admiral Vincent. Halsey, who is now a federal ambassador, was one of the first to congratulate Winters on her victory, alongside former President Antonia Madison. The other powers, with the exception of the Empire, were also quick to welcome Winters' victory, seeing her as someone open to inter-superpower cooperation. Members of Aegis expressed their hope that Winters will continue the unified approach to tackling the Thargoid invasion. Winters' new vice president will be the veteran politician Isolde Rochester, who will help build support from those who formerly backed Hudson and Archer's hardline approach to domestic politics.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.
Hello, Commanders. Commander Strings transmitting to you from the studios of Lave Radio. Up next is a tune for all you freight jockeys out there travelling, available on SoundCloud at 12 Strings Inc.
Testing indeed. Hello.
It was so...
Pardon?
Have we got a full crew tonight?
I don't know, Alice.
No.
Oh, apparently I'm being broadcast on stream?
No.
Okay, no, you're shoving us everywhere. You lot are a bunch of nosy fuckers, stop listening. I didn't say you could listen.
Are we live? Yes.
We are live! We're live!
Excellent.
Yay! No, we are live. Yeah. That Ephesus. He's God. What are they doing listening into us, the twats? So rude. And yes, I do know that your name is actually Ephesus.
Do the Thargoid Spire platform challenge now. Do it. Do it. Make it happen. Do it.
I'm making myself coffee instead. Okay, well, we'll just keep our glob shot then, shall we? Ooh, they're cresting the horizon. Anaconda. There was an Anaconda one, wasn't there? I'm sure there was.
Yeah.
Right. We have a Colin. I see a Colin. I haven't heard a Colin yet.
All these questioning the week.
Greetings to all you late night space. I'm Commander Pitstarter, and you, and you, and you are listening to Lave Radio.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
I'm getting into the bias guy.
Again, we're not supposed to be talking during the intro, you meghead.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Can anyone hear me? Or have I
just can now.
Oh, great. I've just been doing it with the mute button on.
What an amazing show. Gang.
Right.
Shall we go live soon, do you think?
Yeah. Right. That didn't happen, but greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 463 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, Chief Archivist of Lave Radio, otherwise known as Colin Ford. And joining me in the orange sidewinder bar this episode, we have our SRV Banksy, that's Commander Alice Turnip.
Red rum, red rum.
We've got our head of health and safety and hero to smack heads everywhere. That would be Ben Moss Woodward, otherwise known as Commander Ed Levice.
I personally think our Rob or Ross.
And finally, we have our
staff liaison. That's what you're looking. The words you're looking for. Staff liaison.
Yeah, you've gone and changed everything, all the order around. I'm not.
I didn't change the order. I haven't done any changing of any order. I don't know who did that.
Well, that would be Commander Sidekick.
Changed my name.
Okay.
Oh,
cool. The amount of time that we save on not doing rehearsal. Amazing.
What?
Exactly. Imagine if we knew what we were doing. We've only done 463 episodes.
Well, not all of us.
Well, I certainly haven't.
It just feels like it. If you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in game. Ben is flying somewhere weird. So you can catch up with them. If you can't get to us in game, you can join us in the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat and then go on twitch.tv/laveradio, or look us up on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitter, and we'll be there. So let's quickly go around the crew, see how they've been this week, and we'll start with Commander Psychic.
Hi.
Hi.
I've been really good, thank you. I've been chill. What have I been up to?
Did you go out? Did you go out again?
I did. I left the house.
3 weeks in a row.
I know. We left the house. We did the same thing that. So, okay. For full clarity, there's a little lake near to where we live. And on a Sunday morning, there's a lot of hobbyists that go to this lake. And let's not be filthy, but there's a lot of hobbyists that go to this lake, and they have the little boats. The little like miniature boats that they put on the water and go around, and it's really cool. It's really cool from a look how much money these people have got to spend on frivolous things and play about. And there's loads of different types. There's some people have got like little miniature subs and it's very cool to go and take a look at these people doing that. And when it's a nice day, you can go for a full walk around the lake, and it's dog friendly, and there's a place that sells coffee. So it's nice to go there on a Sunday morning and go and like enjoy a bit of sunshine, like have just a nice walk and a coffee. So that's what I do. I'm enjoying doing of a Sunday, and it gets me away from my computer for like a couple of hours. That's a really good thing.
Please tell me that there are some of those people with the remote control boats who are dressed up in naval uniforms.
No, not quite. It's not
that bad, then.
I imagine if they held like some kind of regatta or something like that, because you see, there were times when there's lots and lots of boats there, and there's times when there's not that many, and it's just really nice to see all of these like middle-aged, like I say middle-aged, retirement-aged gentlemen with a hobby that gets them out of their house.
Do they at least wear little peaked caps?
Yeah, there's definitely peaked caps.
I used to do that with my dad, actually. We used to do it down at a lake, I think it's called Black Park, and it's near Elstree Film Studios. And this was way back in the days when you did it with crystals. So you all had to agree with the other hosts to use different crystals, so you didn't accidentally control their boat.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then occasionally all the boats would go haywire, which we always assumed was to do with something they were doing at the film studios.
That's so. It's just a really cool little thing. We like to have a coffee, go and watch these boats, and it's kind of like it's a really nice way to regularly disconnect. And I know that sounds that like. I like to have regulation in when I disconnect and spend time away and spend just a little moment recharging, because like there's lots of hectic things going on at the moment, and it's on the like run up from October all the way to December. There's a lot of shit that I'm planning for, and it's really nice to have a super tidy disconnect from the digital space. I've been playing I like 3 games. There were 3 games that are very fun. Those 3 games are Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and Elite Dangerous. I've been doing nothing else than playing those 3 games. They are all encompassing, they are all consuming, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And that is my life at the moment. That's what I've been up to for the week.
Excellent. What about yourself, Ben?
I've not really been up to a heck of a lot, actually. I've been very busy with my real life, so I have played absolutely sweet Fanny Adams. Apart from I tried a couple of hours of the new build for Star Citizen yesterday evening, and it was a new build, and I had some fun in that. It didn't crash, so I call that a win. And what else? I was going to go to the cinema, but I didn't. I'll save that for later. What else have I been doing? Yeah, I've basically, but somewhere between just after the show last week and just before today, I've been very busy with real life and family stuff. So hey,
yeah, that's nothing you can say about that then.
No.
Come on then, Alice. What's What's been happening with you?
I went to see The Creator, which was pretty good actually. It's a bit annoying that it's the premise is yet again, we're at war with the AI. It's like, oh, seriously, not this again. But anyway, get over the basic premise, and actually, it's really good. It reminds me a lot of District 9. Actually, it's so gritty. The look of it's amazing. This kind of mix of, kind of hard sci-fi with all these sort of robots walking around, but then all the sort of jungles and sort of Eastern market places, and I don't know, the mix of sort of grubby and high tech it looks amazing. And I won't spoil it, but I found the ending a bit perplexing. This doesn't really spoil it, but there's a scene where the lead protagonist is desperately trying to get to a kind of detonated device, and I honestly didn't know whether he was trying to get to it so he could set the thing off or try and get to it so that he could stop it going off. It was like, I don't know what anyone's trying to do at this point in the film, which was a bit annoying, but it was great on the whole. I give it a solid 7.5. What else? I got a very generous Commander Skur from Buckyball Racing Club sent me an M2 SSD drive that he wasn't using. And it turns out my PC doesn't have an M2 drive in it, but it did have an M2 slot. And once I'd got it installed, 500 gig drive, it turns out it's about 4 times faster than the SSD I've got Windows on. And more importantly, that I've got Elite Dangerous on. So I moved Elite onto my M2 drive, and I messed around and moved my Windows, my swap file onto the M2 drive, which seemed like a clever thing to do. I wasn't brave enough to move the whole of Windows onto it. I just thought that sounds like hassle. But yeah, it was good. And in-game, I have been pretty much obsessively flying around the Spire sites, trying to do various things that we're supposed to do, and inventing a whole new 3.5 kilometer high time trial that I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to do, but is bloody awesome.
Is that to do with the video that you did?
It is indeed, yes. I have made a tutorial video on how to do the Thargoid Spire challenge, or to give it its full name, the absolutely insane Thargoid Spire challenge. And I'm currently in the process of turning it into a time trial for ED Copilot, which I'm pretty sure only about 3 people in the world will actually be able to complete. So making it a time trial is almost pointless, but no, people can do it. Actually, people will definitely be able to do it. It's not as hard as it looks, and it's a ludicrous fun. Literally jump, for people that haven't seen the video, you can literally jump from one of those Thargoid Spire landing platforms to the next, and you can even jump from one spire down to the next spire, all in the SRV. It's amazing.
Excellent. Yeah, I just had a network snafu just then. I'm sure there was smoke coming from the network card, so I just had to plug in a new adapter. So yeah, let's see. Good news on the health front. I'm actually able to ride a bike again now.
Is that good or is that bad? That sounds very bad news.
Feels ominous.
So yeah, I'll be back on the pedals probably tomorrow to see how far I can actually get in. Because let's be honest, it's been almost 8 weeks, so I doubt if I'm anywhere near the level of fitness I need to be to get into work. I said too many pies at home, I think. Apart from that, I have also been lucky enough to get my hands on a new graphics card, a 4070 Ti.
Bloody jealous of that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I put it in. I have whacked everything on Elite Dangerous and Cyberpunk up to Ultra. Cyberpunk's got ray tracing on it. And
incredible.
I'm just walking around the place going, this is fantastic. And to go into Elite Dangerous and virtual reality with the resolution that high, with the new headset, and I'm just there going, I don't want to go back to real life. This means that I'll take the blue pill, thank you. So, yeah, that's been me. apart from the usual family shenanigans, that's about everything that's going on. Yeah, plenty of Elite Dangerous, obviously, because of the needed to test out a lot of research into benchmarking the new graphics card. Honest, yes. So let's have a look at the development news of what has been happening this week. Well, first off, Galnet news roundup on the 19th of October. Yep, Paul's back.
But Colin's gone, by the sounds of it.
No,
yeah,
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Were you expecting a response?
I was actually.
Yay! Paul's back!
Paul's back!
Excellent. So,
I didn't realise this was a call and response section. So, that's totally on my honour. My apologies.
Yeah. So, So the usual level of wit and sarcasm and evilness can be found in the Galnet roundup. And then, of course, there was the surprise. Well, it wasn't a surprise. It just things got moved around a bit. But the Frameshift Live happened yesterday, Monday, for the Halloween special. Max came on to talk about the Banshees, and he certainly does cackle in a delightful way.
You can tell he's Mistress of Minion's minion, can't you?
You know what? I like to think it was a Kylo Ren to Darth Vader, really. You know.
Mm.
Yeah. You see, there was an awful lot of. I missed this, but there was a few hints about something about 26 days.
Later.
Yeah, I'm sure there was comments in the chat about 26 days.
So I tell you what that was.
Oh, right.
On
Okay.
the you know how they put them inside a simulation of something that's happening in Elite, so they're behind a desk. The one of the consoles had 26 days written on it. That's all it was. It was like one of the random
it's the
images
day since
thing.
last accident thing, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
on signage in the fleet carrier.
Yeah. Don't read too much into that, or we'll have blue triangles all over again. And I am at my peak with idiocy on the internet at the moment. So.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. They have said that there is a smaller update coming towards the end of November, which is, I guess, 17.1. There won't be. I don't think we're going to get an update 18 this year.
They call it a stability update, did they? I think.
Stability patch. But then again, they might be lying. They did say there was going to be a Halloween event. More details in a second. Yeah, and all I can say from the impression that I saw of the whole thing was someone's been watching a lot of horror films, haven't they?
It was fun. It was fun. It was a bit like last year when they did the thing with the guy approaching the planet and all of that, and we were like, "What the fuck is going on?" Kind of the same. It was kind of the same mentality, but we were all expecting something this year, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
well done, Frontier.
Yeah, I got a sneaking suspicion Arthur and Sally enjoyed doing that a lot more than they were letting on. And all I can say is, well done with your gurning off. Are you quite sure your face can move in that direction?
I thought the ending was a little bit of a jump scare when it all sort of like went quiet, and then Arthur appeared at the end. I was like, that's erring on the side of jump scares. I jump at fucking everything, so I mean I shouldn't be the barometer for this, but I got jump scared a little tiny bit.
It was a fine line actually between funny and being genuinely creepy. There was a sort of Blair Witch moment where Arthur was kind of standing in the corner, sort of twitching his head in a strange way, and there was a great bit. Did people catch the bit where they must have reversed it? But Sally must have thrown a bit of paper, but they reversed it, so this kind of bit of paper flew into her hand. It was incredible.
Okay, I don't think I did get that one.
Yeah, I'm sure they reversed it.
They did do that one. I did see that one. It was like fun spooky.
Yeah.
Fun spooky, creepy spooky, like old Phasmophobia before Phasmophobia got really scary. It felt like that for me. I enjoyed it.
Excellent. So yes, we have said there is a Halloween event coming. Full details will be announced on the forum on Wednesday. That's tomorrow, the day after this, so that'll be the 25th. So yes, watch the space. as we carry on.
Did anyone get any little gems from the live stream that they want to mention?
Yeah. Anybody want to talk about anything there? Because I think the only thing that I took away with it was stability patch. I thought, oh, okay.
Okay, cool. The only thing I wanted to mention is I felt what?
Sorry, I don't know what Chris was trying to do, but I just sort of looked back at my screen and suddenly saw his chieftain.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just got that. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. In the interview with Max, I felt like they were skirting around talking about the Banshee's vulnerabilities. I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, but I think, I don't know if this is confirmed or still a bit rumory, but I get the sense that the Banshee has a vulnerability on its underside.
It does, yeah. If you shoot the testicles
really
underneath
neat.
it, yeah. It's got three red testicles underneath it. If you shoot them, they are the vulnerability of it. The issue is that they don't where you can shoot everything else on from a ship. So if you're using dumbfire missiles, you can take out the revenants with a ship. The Banshees appear to be just, if you're in a ship, they have no registerable hitbox, which is kind of frustrating because you can't go and.
Because it's on the underside, because the danglers.
You can still do damage on the top, but it's less damage.
Right.
On like other parts of it, but you can only do it from an SRV or using handguns.
That's cool. I like that.
I would. Well, it's not consistent. This is the issue. And they will literally just fly through your ship. There's no collision at all. So it's like they don't have a hitbox with other ships around.
Oh, that's really weird. Oh, okay, that's weird.
Do they have a hitbox with SRVs?
Yes, yeah, you can shoot them in an SRV without a problem. It's just, as I say, with like the thing is though, revenants will come back because scouts come back to the sites and spaff them out. There isn't really, you're waiting for the Banshees to respawn, and I don't even know whether they do. Having been at a site, cleared out all the Banshees and waited hours and not really got any back before resetting. So there's arguments for balance potentially on a quality of life patch.
Oh, I see. Nice to know that the key to dealing with them is bashing Banshee bollocks. Then, isn't it?
Yeah. Banshee bollocks. They're bulbous. They're bulbous berry coloured. Banshee bollocks.
We have a show title.
Yes, we bash the
bashing Banshee bollocks.
Bulbous berried Banshee bollocks.
We'll see how many B's we can put into a sentence before we put it out.
Bollocks.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything else to take away from now that we've? How do you follow that? No, I mean, I thought
from a good 12 inches away.
Yeah, right. I overall thought the stream was quite well put together. Yeah.
Did I spot a psychic screenshot in there as well?
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
Well done.
Yeah, you did. I got so excited. I don't think I've won Stellar Screen. I might have won it once, but to win Stellar Screenshots is really fucking cool. But also, the screenshot that I took wasn't. They don't exist in game anymore because it was a Barnacle Matrix site, and they just don't exist anymore. So it's like a little snapshot of history of time.
Or will they? They might make them come back as things spread right out. Well, let's hope so. Anyway, okay, so we'll move on from there. Obviously, there's been a couple of things happening frontier-wise. Elite Dangerous itself has been added to the PlayStation Plus Extra network. This is the PlayStation equivalent to the Xbox Games Pass. So there's it means that the Fuel Rats have reported there's a few extra PlayStation commanders that have need help over the last week or so. So that was interesting. And then on top of that, F1 Manager 2023 has been added to the Xbox Game Pass. I mean, both of these things can be seen as quick ways to get revenue into Frontier. Because when you actually say these games are put on the Game Pass service, Xbox and PlayStation just gives the company a load of money, and then that's it. So yeah, this could be a kind of not a money grab, but a way to increase revenue quickly. Which, yeah. One little touch. Has anybody seen the Brooks Star Tours poster before? Because I only just noticed them since update 17 came down.
I'm not sure if I think they've been in there since the book tour thing, because I spotted one outside a Coriolis or something. Yeah, they're kind of dotted around. They've just added them to the pool of hollow ads. I think they're nice.
Yeah, it just took me by surprise. I hadn't seen one before, and I just went, and then, because
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it got you did it get you in the feels, Colin?
It did surprise me. Yes. So, yeah, moving on from there. Let's see. I guess the community is what we'd like to talk about next. What have they been up to? Well, let's just say there has been update 17 videos, absolutely galore. And this is more than the ones that we saw yesterday. We've got the impure and semi-refined Thargoid Spire minerals and how to get them by Ricardo's Gaming. It's a very good tutorial for explaining how to land on the leaf, run around the place, and
actually this is the lower bit. In fact, this is what I was doing today, and I'm finding it incredibly hard. Actually, it's the thing on. I think they're officially called mega barnacles. A lot of people are calling them the gazebos.
Okay, yeah, I know the gazebos.
You know, the things that sort of yeah. I'm finding it incredibly difficult to do. So there's two things you can do in there. In the SRV, you can shoot these things down from the ceiling that you scoop in the SRV, and you can also go in on foot with your electrical charge device again and zap 2 little nerve clusters, which then activates a little panel thing that you can shoot, and that drops a thing as well.
But that thing's got to be picked up by the SRV.
Yeah, so you've got to get into this gazebo unnoticed. You've got to get out of the SRV, do this little run around of shooting and zapping things, get back in the SRV, scoop these things up, and get away and get to your ship without being spotted. I have not managed to do that yet. I find it incredibly difficult. Anyway, this is a little video from Ricardo's doing that.
Excellent. Yeah, it's been plenty of stuff. I mean, I must admit, when I've been running around these spires, I got one of them where it's just at twilight. The planet is tidally locked, so it's always the site is constantly at twilight. And it's it's gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous, and I got blasted off the lily pads, if you like, and it is a long way down.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's such a long way down, but it was fantastic because I got. I was about to say blown off then, but
It's a good job you didn't say that, because I would have had a reaction to it.
Yes,
so we managed to keep it nice and safe, and so that we're good.
Not drawing attention to it at all.
It's a really good job you didn't say anything, Colin. Well done.
Well, after all that and falling down.
Actually, because
what up?
Well, I was going to say, so the stuff up on the platforms where you zap 4 of the things, and I'm finding. I mean, that's kind of easy.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, because nothing really attacks you.
Super Mario, isn't it? It's great.
Right. It is cool. But the thing I'm describing down on the ground, have you managed to solo that?
Okay, no, because the banshees are bad.
Yeah.
The banshees are mean, and I don't like them.
Yeah, I was thinking that Frontier maybe that's deliberately intended to be a group activity. What do you think?
So on Saturday we took I think there were like 8 of us, who all went down to a site. We're doing like just ad hoc bits and pieces. In my Discord, we'll just grab a couple of people who fancy doing it, and then go and have like dick about in scorpions for a little bit and kill them all. And then once you've killed them all, because they don't respawn, you can do everything at your leisure. But it's really fun to just like hang out there and do all of the bits and pieces that you need to do, and then just kill officers to your heart's content.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a really fun thing to do.
I've been watching Foxy Loxy discovered killing authors. Was just hammering them.
They just don't care.
They're
like, oh, you're killing me, are you? Okay, that's fine. It's just a really cool thing to just sort of like get a group of you together and just go and do. And it's nice to have a purpose for the scorpion. It's nice to have a purpose for the scorpion. I really enjoy doing it. And you also get the 40 mil per orifice, which doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that helps. No, Ben?
I did see a nice little video about taking out the banshees on foot, which was basically involved somebody with the rocket launcher, and he was ducking in and out of a facility, which also had his ability to rearm. But he was doing that, and then, as Psychid nicely said, shooting their bollocks off with the rocket.
Lots of people are doing that too.
I saw that, and that looked. Yeah, it looked achievable.
It is achievable. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it on your own.
No.
Very often, but like, full disclosure, last week I said something along the lines of I want these to stay around for a really long time because I want people to be able to get the equipment that they need and build up to get the equipment that you need. Now, that is to make life hella easy for yourself, getting the equipment that you need. You can buy like grade 3 stuff from wherever you want. If there's stuff available, like go out on a Thursday morning and do some shopping, and get some, or on a Thursday and get grade 3 Artemis suit, because I re-looked at my Artemis suit and it's only a grade 4 Artemis suit. It doesn't have like any extra accoutrement onto it. Grade 3 Artemis suit will more than enough suffice with what you're doing, so you don't have to invest like a huge amount of time. You don't need a fully engineered ship, and scorpions don't have engineering, so it's very, with the exception of being interdicted / hyperdicted by glaives, it's very entry-level friendly.
Yes.
But also you can make you can get all of the upgrades and make it even easier for yourself. But
it's been really enjoyable gameplay. I've been thoroughly enjoying it so far. I got involved on Sunday night. I went to one of the darker ones where the spires are all tightly locked on the dark side of the planet, and I didn't realize this in open. There was about 3 or 4 people there, all just happily blasting away authors and scouts. And I swear, when you're flying through around the spires, taking out scouts, you sure as heck feel like the Freebird solo's kicking in.
Who's got sweets?
Me.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Ben.
I'm so professional, aren't I? I'm trying to escape and having some nuts, all right?
Bet you are.
I am.
You want to shoot them in the nuts?
Would you like a photo of my nuts? I've got some raisins.
Really wouldn't, Ben.
Oh boy.
That wasn't open questioned.
Anyway, that was a sidetrack. Where do we get to?
You're up next.
Actually, I think we skipped one, but I slipped it in, so I'll mention it as well. I was looking for some videos to throw in here, some specifics, because there were just loads of great updates. 17. So I did slip one in from Danger Pencil, who's a bit of a flight assist off Hooner. He's recently been posting some amazing times. I think I'm right in saying on the Okinura challenge, which was an old flight assist off kind of station challenge. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting, different perspective on the Spire sites, because he's basically using it as a place to do some flight assist off hooning. So it's sort of got that nice combination of being a real spectacle, but also just watching the guy fly around the spires with flight assist off is incredible. What's interesting to know if people get to watch this video is it's astonishing how little he uses pitch and roll. I'm not a permanent flight assist off pilot myself, so I hadn't really thought about it, but he barely touches pitch and roll, which is fascinating. Anyway, I thought that was good.
How does he? Well, it's just yaw then.
It's a lot of yaw and lateral thrusters.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of these videos where you can see on screen little graphics showing his inputs, so it's kind of interesting to watch. Lovely video. Anyway, and then I threw mine in. We mentioned it at the top of the show, but I threw in my absolutely insane Thargoid Spire platform challenge, which is an SRV challenge where you start at the top of the big spire and you jump from platform to platform all the way around it. Then you jump down to the middle one, bounce off the middle one's platform and land on the lower one's platform. Piece of cake. If people do look at that, have a look in the video description because I linked some bloopers. So yeah, if people are wondering whether I ever get it wrong, yes, I do, and I've linked them in the bloopers. The best one, the funniest one, which happened to me a few times, is your mid jump in the SRV from one platform to the next, 3.5 kilometers up in the air, and then you get hit by a shutdown field. And the SRV does not like the shutdown field, and it just shuts down and plummets to the ground.
Oh, right, because your thrusters are not going to be firing, are they?
Yeah, everything stops, and you just suddenly, you just fall. It's really funny.
All of a sudden, make like a brick. Excellent. And finally, we've got Spire Runner from the Burr Pit, which is the Burr Pit got a whole load of people together and all decided to do a surface assault. So this was manic.
Burr Pit videos are always good. We don't shout them off enough, but
no,
a nice cinematic. So they do these little non-commentary cinematics occasionally.
Yeah, I'm just sort of jealous that I missed out on that one. I do get invites, but it's always just when I can't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, overall, as far as update 17 seems to have been really well received by the community so far. It's the amount of feedback that's coming back from reviewers in general has been, overwhelmingly positive. I think the only thing that I've seen is the usual, there's nothing else apart from Thargoid stuff at the moment. But they're thinking,
yeah, it's great, isn't it? I think I was listening to Loose Screws this morning, and they sounded like they've been having some bugs. It's funny, isn't it? Like I sort of found it entirely bug-free almost, but certain groups, I guess, do different activities, whether they wing up or they're in a different part of the world or a different time zone or whatever, but just seem to be plagued by bugs that other people don't see.
Yeah, it's got to be something to do with the distance. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I gather they are things that are on the confirmed bugs list about, there were really weird things like not having any pips in the ship and supercruise assist not working, and really quite fundamental game mechanic issues about stuff not working. But yeah, update 17's been good for me. Really solid.
Yeah. So right. Well, sticking with you, Alec, something's happening this Saturday.
There is. They seem to be coming thick and fast, but we have another flipping buckyball race, which starts this Saturday, October the 28th, and runs till the following Sunday. Usual deal. This is a rerun of an old race called Prison Break. Really simple. There's no bonuses, no heat bonus nonsense, no damage nonsense. All you do is you have a start station, which is in the Slink's Eye system. Love the name of that system, little neutron system, I think. So you start at Kaleem Ring in the Slink's Eye system, and then you have to visit 3 different penal colonies planet surface-based penal colonies in any order you like. So for people that kind of haven't been down to these are little surface bases, I suppose, that are designed. I don't know what you're supposed to do at them. Do you do assault missions at them? I can't remember. But they're not friendly, so they have an exclusion zone.
Yeah, there are things that you can do at those missions, like hack the comms towers and things like that.
Okay,
and sometimes you get missions to disable the generators within them.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if this is true of all penal colonies, but these 3 have landing pads. And in the original version of the race, you literally had to land on them. You can actually, you get the landing gear thing, so you can actually land on them even though you're not supposed to. So it was a kind of touch and go race. You'd visit all 3, land on them. And if you're quick, if you can land quick and get away quick, then they don't open fire on you. So that was kind of the idea. Something's happened in one of the updates or with Odyssey, so more often than not, possibly always actually, they seem to have a ship firmly planted on the pad these days. So we've just relaxed the rules a little bit, so you can land up to 500 meters away from the center. So you can land next to the pad if you can't land on it. The only little twist, which is which is fun, is that one of these penal colonies, the Barcelo one, is on Mitterrand Hollow. So we have a buckyball race which involves a fast planetary landing on Mitterrand Hollow. And if people haven't been there, this is the planet that lands on you.
Yeah.
I was practicing this morning. It's very weird trying to land quickly on that planet. Very weird.
Yeah, it's weird when a planet catches you up, isn't it?
Yeah, it scoops you up, and then suddenly you're sort of trying to level out and do the usual thing of, gauging your glide angle and stuff. But the whole of the rest of the galaxy is kind of spinning wildly around you. It's so strange. Good fun though. Yeah, so that runs this Saturday for a whole week. Have at it.
Excellent. This time I will make an attempt. Honest.
It's a really quick one. I mean, although it's got this Mitterrand Hollow sort of a bit of amusement in the middle of it, I think people are doing runs in like 15 minutes or something. So it's a lovely quick one.
Yeah. Excellent. Just a quick shout out to the Exin Squadron, who are part of the AXI. They are now celebrating their 5th anniversary. 5th anniversary for a squadron, so that's pretty good going. So they're organising an SRV raid event on December the 2nd. You can find out all the details you need to this on the AXI Discord. We'll probably supply the details to get in touch with the Discord in the show notes. As far as the Thargoid War itself, well, the current cycle at the moment, we've got 38 on alert, 1 invasion. 417 are still Thargoid controlled, and 14 are in recovery. However, this is it's a bit different now, because the next cycle they're actually predicting a lot more invasions and a lot more controlled ships. So it could be that something's happened in the background simulation to say that the Thargoids are beginning to push back a bit. We'll have to wait and see how things go, because it's the first time I've seen an invasion system in a cycle for quite a while.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's probably already completed.
Do we know the effect of these spire sites? Are they locking things down again, like the Matrix sites did?
We don't, actually, and that's one thing that I'm sure that Ian Doncaster and the rest of the Thargoid analysts are now looking at extensively at the moment.
So they don't lock it. They don't lock everything down. I know there were before the update 17 dropped in. I think at least three of the Barnacle Matrix sites had been flipped. And then when it happened, when update 17 dropped, they were back under Thargoid stuff. I know a lot of people were working doing stuff and dicking around Taranis, and they were already showing the stuff that you were doing to the Barnacle Matrix sites were affecting the 10. Oh, now this is going to be a really ropey quote of memory kind of shit. So apologies if I get numbers incorrect or if I get this information wrong. Please, anyone with the knowledge and full knowledge correct me with this, but I think it's like the 10 most far away points from the Maelstrom are being affected by that. The 10 most systems that are the furthest away from the Maelstrom are being affected by some of the other bits that you're doing at the Spire sites. I might be entirely incorrect with that, and I'd love for it to be yeah.
Because the ones furthest away would be the weakest. They'd have the weakest supply lines, and
I've had 3 people in chat say that they think I'm right. So I'm going to go with it and say it's not just me that believes this.
Lave Radio
does not
guarantee its accuracy, but
it's very selfish. But I've just had a horrible thought, which is I'm going to spend blooming hours designing this beautiful time trial on one of these Spire sites, and then the AXI are going to turn the tide, and the thing won't be a Spire site next week.
I think it will probably still be a Spire site. I can't see the structures going. I can't see the structures going away, but they might be flipped.
Like status wise, but not
status wise, but not thinking wise. They might even be safer.
Yeah. Can I just give a shout out to the DCOH website? Because originally it's where we got our stats from every week. They've gone and redone the entire website to give you a lot more useful information about where things are happening in the Thargoid War. I think they've done a fantastic job. And,
yeah, you're right. It doesn't get mentioned enough. It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, now that they've added new features like where to find counter-strike systems and the reactivation missions, that's congratulations. That's really, really useful bit of third-party tool there.
I really like. I don't know if you've seen it, but I really like its historical map, which is a 3D map of space and the different Maelstrom systems, or the color code for the different states, and it gives you. It reminds me a little bit of the power play map. You get this nice kind of
yes,
sense of
sort of bubbly effect.
Yeah, like little bunches of grapes or something.
Are we back to banshee bollocks again?
No, we are indeed.
Anyway, right. Just quickly to outline the in-game events of what's been happening this week. Oh, before I forget, if you do have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout out about it across the airwaves, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. Right, the in-game events. What has been happening this week? Well, the 19th of October, President-elect Winters has outlined her future for the presidency. So that's taking away a lot of things that were restricting personal freedoms in the Federation. So all that predictive terrorism nonsense agency is going to go and all that kind of stuff. And cutting back on military spending. Is that really a good idea in the middle of a Thargoid war?
Military spending.
Yeah,
depends, really.
Just wondering. That's all.
Probably not.
And on Monday, the 23rd of October, it's been revealed that the Titan survivors are being kept in quarantine. They're not being let out at all. So high security quarantine as well. So imagine that you've just been popped out of a pod. You've just been through the most terrorizing experience imaginable, and you're basically effectively shut in prison.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're really leaning into this thing of we've tested them and these people are absolutely fine and we can find no evidence of anything wrong with them, but
we just don't know because there are so many unknowns with the Thargoids.
I did start to wonder. I think I speculated on this in a previous show. That all this community assumption about getting zombies, and I thought maybe we're not going to get that at all. But I don't know. They're kind of leaning into it with these Galnets. So
whether we didn't,
I know. I'm not sure.
It's not for me.
We shall have to wait and see.
Very much so. Right. So I guess it's that time of the week for the store alert.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. A store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert. Which one will you buy? A store alert, 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 a store alert. Which one will you buy?
No, the song.
We're live, apparently.
We're back.
Hi, we're back.
Store alert this week. Well, let's be honest, there hasn't been anything new, but there has been a 30% off selected Halloween-related decals. Those decals and bobbleheads.
Yeah,
The
bobbleheads, paint jobs,
include
and lights.
And lights, yes. So all those wonderful things that you loved at Halloween for last year, they're back, and they're 30% off. Also, they're highlighting. Pardon?
I was just going to say, should add, there is a skull that is available this year that hasn't been available for a really long time. People ask me about the skull that I have on my bobblehead, on my all of my ships all of the time. It's the skull with the rib cage and the more metallic looking skull. That hasn't, yeah. That one hasn't existed, hasn't been in the store for a really long time.
Has it not?
No, for like 2-3 years. So it is available this year. You can get it. So just in case Frontier Puller, we're not going to put this up again, it is actually available. I used to get so many people asking me about it, and it wasn't available for a good couple of years. So it's available.
It is a good one. The bobbleheads come in a sort of range of sizes, and this one is nice. It's really noticeable, isn't it? It's quite chunky and it looks really good.
It looks really nice with the pumpkin one as well. The pumpkin, the actual pumpkin with the light up pumpkin. I think they're really nice together, and everything else is also nice together.
Yeah, there's what looks like a gravestone and a there it's in the stream, gravestone and a skull, a different kind of skull thing. Looks like something from Monkey Island, to be honest. But,
yeah.
Yeah, it should be noted that all the suits, the Halloween suits, are back, and they're on a 30% discount as well. Well as
Diana Rigg in chat, who was asking what it's called. It is called quite simply Skull Bobblehead.
It's an imaginative name.
It is indeed. 4,529 arcs at your nearest cockpit customization broker.
Yeah, and then we've also got the Pulse ship skins for the Eagle and the Adder. Yeah. Why waste good skins on an Adder?
There's also the Malevolent Nightmares and things like that. All of the Malevolent skins, which are like the light up pumpkin-y ones that are on the Python, the Anaconda, the Cobra, and the Asp Explorer. And we've also got the pumpkin lights, which have been in the store for fucking ever, and then the neon skulls. And the most important thing from all of this is that next week we get the sugar skulls after Halloween, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'd forgotten those.
Right. Well, after that store excitement, I think we will take an advert break, and then we'll come back.
Good luck, everyone.
Fingers crossed. And we'll come back with our main discussion.
Oh, boy, space, it's cold in here. That commander has a cheek sitting up in his cosy and warm cockpit while we haul radioactives around his cargo bay.
Oh, is it cold? I hadn't noticed.
Oh, that's right. Why, you're not even shivering.
Maybe it's because I picked up this North Coast cargo bay sweater. It keeps me warm and stylish.
Say, that is a nice jumper.
It's made from the finest Verrex wool and handcrafted by novitiates in the underground monasteries of Van Maanen's Star.
Wow. Where can I get one?
New North Coast cargo bay sweaters. Be the envy of your friends. Wow every lady from here to the Empire. Be warm and toasty even on the 10th planet of a dying star. Now on sale at Spark and Mensa.
Better now?
Better? Why, I feel so warm I'll probably never catch man flu again.
Spark and Mensa, because nothing says sexy like a neck-high jumper.
Have you found yourself in a spot of bother with those Xenodes messing up your backyard?
Oh, why are there Thargoids in my system?
Can't leave the house without fear of a hyperdiction?
Can't even get to work. Not that they've noticed, because everything's on fire there too.
Sick of the amount of time it takes to scrub the caustic damage from those hard-to-reach places?
Oh, fuck, oh, it fucking hurts, fuck, ow.
Introducing Dr. Pope's Caustic Burn Cream. Apply a few drops to the affected area and feel the euphoria of instant relief. After that, just wash the burn away.
It's like it was meant to happen.
It's so good, you can even use it on your ships.
Thanks, Dr. Pope. My ship smells brand new.
Dr. Pope's Caustic Burn Cream, the miracle that can happen. Side effects may include dizziness, constipation, an itching sensation, worship of an obviously aggressive false deity, death, and loss of sense of smell. Should you experience any of these symptoms, please contact your doctor immediately. Not Dr. Pope though, he's busy.
This is a public service announcement from the Fuel Rats. Please stop what you're doing and pay attention. If we can rescue you, we will, but you can help us help you by following these easy steps. 1. Fly 50 light seconds or so from the system's main star and drop out of Supercruise. 2. Note down the current system and the nearest stellar body. 3. If you're on emergency life support, log out immediately. 4. Go to fuelrats.org and click Get Help. 5. Stay calm, hold your breath, and let our seasoned professionals do what they do best. The Fuel Rats. We have fuel, you don't. Any questions?
Welcome back. Welcome back, and we have our question of the week as the main discussion. Psychit, thank you for putting out the question. What is your favourite ship in Elite, and what is it specifically about it specifically that makes it your favourite?
Yeah, so I thought with asking this question, because let's be honest, a lot of the questions that we ask, I may have asked on a different show before.
Yes.
I may have asked on a different show, and this one was one which we asked pretty regularly on that show, but it was part of a quickfire round, and we never really had the opportunity to deep dive into why people think that it is, why people have the specification of this being their favourite ship. Because you can very quickly answer the name of a ship and it not be a problem, but I thought it would be quite nice to do like a full deep dive for each individual person, saying why exactly, what is it that makes that ship your favorite ship in the game?
Yeah. Yeah, and we had a massive response to this even though there was 2 weeks. But
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Everyone likes talking about the ships.
Yeah, it wasn't like we had anything to talk about last week either. So,
right. Well, I'm going to start with Epaphras. He said it's the Sidewinder. It's the only ship that comes with a flight manual. Not that he reads flight manuals. But seriously, he says he finds it hard to pick a single ship as his favourite, as he has favourites depending on what he's doing in game, which is quite true.
That's a very practical answer.
It's a very practical answer from a very practical Epaphras. For fuck's sake, pick a ship, you loser.
Flight manual is cool, isn't it? It's down the. You don't need VR to see it, do you? You can see it with a bit of head look, I think, can't you? Is it off to one side?
I think
it's off to the side and you can see it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next, shall I?
Yes, go on then.
I'll go next. We do have a bit of time where we can deep dive into these as well, which is really nice. Some absolute plum called Psychit commented, and she said, "I've made no secret of loving the Corvette. I love how ridiculously versatile it is. I think my actual favorite. Oh my god, I'm going to announce this to the internet. I think my actual favorite might be the Crate Phantom, though. Specifically mine, with its holistic shields and zero hull. But let's just keep that between us. It's all right. No one listens to this anyway. I've sort of like. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love the Corvette. It's great. It's a great ship. It's so versatile and so amazing. But if I had to pick one that I would have to fly in all the time, it's probably going to be it might be the Phantom.
Mummy,
what have you done now?
I got hyperdicted by a scythe.
A scythe? Have you got passengers on you?
No.
Okay, well that's a glaive then.
Okay, it's a glaive, is it?
Yes.
Either way, it's shooting me. It's not being very friendly.
No, they tend not to be.
Yeah, they're not friendly, mate.
Gankers. Bastards.
They're not friendly.
No, it's not friendly.
My favourite thing at all.
I know who to blame now as well. Listen to that live stream. It sounds like it's all Alex's fault. Clearly likes torturing us players.
Don't tell me my friendship drive disabled.
Yeah, that's definitely a glaive. The scythe doesn't do that.
Amazing. Incredible.
Yeah, enjoy your rebuy screen, Ben. We'll be back with you in a bit.
I might be. I am throttled up.
Luckily, while Ben's dying, he can tell us what his favourite ship is and why.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I know I said something along the lines of I kind of want to troll Arthur and say the Crate Mark II, but even though it is one of my go-to ships. My favorite one has to be the original and best Cobra Mark III. But I'm a bit like Epaphras in that at the moment I'm in a Anaconda. I like doing trading in the cutter. I like just hooning around the galaxy in the Crate. But yeah, like you were saying, if I had to stick to one, it would be the Cobra Mark III.
Yeah, it is a nice ship. It comes
understandable
up
because
it does come up a few times. It's got the nostalgia value, but actually, Frontier have done. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's sort of very tactile, but they've done a brilliant job of bringing that old Cobra Mark III from 1984. They really brought it alive, and it feels the way it should feel. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, that one. Alec, your turn.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough question. I tried not to go, because you can just list every ship almost and find a reason for it. But for a long time, I mean, I'm a bit funny with my ships. Very few of my ships actually have weapons fitted, because most of the time I'm just not doing that sort of thing with them. So the only ship that I really worked on and did, thought about the build and did all the engineering and have filled every utility slot and have tried different weapon combinations and got one I like, and it's not a meta by any chance. I remember, was it Exegious? Somebody used to get very cross at my Python build and constantly tell me to change it, but I liked it. So the Python was my first ship that was a real home in the game. I would always go back to it. If I was doing missions or something, I'd just jump in the Python. That was the only ship that felt like home and not just a tool to go and do something in. But I have to say, when I did a sort of expedition out to Colonia, and I really took my time and I went and did all sorts of things, and I wrote a kind of blog on the forum about it. I switched to a Crate Mark II and really fell in love with that ship as well. So I think it's probably history that I picked the Python because the crates weren't around. But dare I say it, the crates are probably a better ship than the Python, slightly. Maybe. I picked the Crate Mark II, by the way, because it's got the ship launch fighter, which is fun when you're doing an expedition because it just gives you a different point of view and a different thing to take screenshots of and different opportunities to do fun. So Python, the Crate, my two very homey ships that I feel very comfortable in either of those. But I think I am going to say that my favourite's the Cobra Mark III. It just feels great, and I've fallen in love with it again with this year's Buckyball race, making it and last year's making it the regulation ship.
It's so good.
It is. The build we've got's not great, because obviously we're picking a low budget build, so there's no engineering and it's not all A class by any means. But that almost makes it better. I actually like the way it drifts, and you sort of. You do need to fly it. It's not just on rails, you love it.
The way it drifts, the way it just carries on drifting without.
But you get used to it.
And you can fly it well.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a fun little ship to fly. It really is. There's no denying it.
It's got weight. It's got a little bit of oomph. It's just a really nice balance. Cobra Mark III. I think I shall pick.
Excellent. Well, we've had a contribution from the wonderfully voiced LCU No Fool Like One, and he's gone for the Viper Mark III. It has steps out the front. It can land practically anywhere fast. This makes it perfect for exobiology. The fastest top speed means you can get the next sample or get into the orbit quickly, and you can actually get a respectable 40 light years of range out of it. And fit a vehicle hanger. I must admit, the Viper Mark III it's kind of passed me by. I kind of went from, I think, the Adder straight to the Cobra Mark III, and skipped the Viper Mark III because it didn't really appeal. And after shooting down so many Vipers in the previous games, I always had a bit of thought it might have a bit of a reputation. Anybody else really gone for the Viper Mark III?
It's funny. I've bounced off the Viper Mark III, which as a buckyball racer is a really odd thing to do, but it just doesn't. Every time I try it, I don't know. I just bounce straight off it and go back to something else. I can't fall in love with the damn thing. It's really interesting that LCU is actually using it as a, more of an explorer, an exobiology ship for good reasons. It's small landing print and getting into orbit quickly, but it doesn't quite work for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I never flew it. I don't think I've ever flown one unless it's been for a buckyball race.
Shay Blackwood says, "Close your eyes and listen to it, Alec." I know what he means. It does have a nice
does it purr?
Yeah, it's got a nice little purr.
Yeah.
I haven't. When I was at that stage of the game, I was more into the Eagle and things like that because it had better. It was more maneuverable.
Yeah, I prefer the Eagle to the Viper.
I've always been much more into maneuverable ships than drag racers. And obviously now that we've got engineering, it really doesn't matter. But back when it did matter, I was into maneuverability.
I really like the look of the Eagle as well.
Oh yeah, something about what gets me is the Eagle's surprisingly big for what you think it is. It's the same length as a Cobra Mark III.
Mm.
I remember
thinking it to be smaller, but it's not.
Yeah, I remember thinking the Eagle was small enough to to fit inside a Thargoid base through an open door, and it's not.
No, it's
as I
not.
discovered to my cost.
Yeah. Take it.
Huh?
Your turn.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's me, isn't it? Oh, some absolute plum called Katie Anna has said Asp Explorer. Specifically, though, her Asp Explorer. That was her specifics. I don't think she understood the assignment, and I'm disappointed.
Oh, but yeah, the Asp Explorer when it comes to actually getting out in the black, it's okay. You've got the crate Phantom, but there's a reason why we had the Asp in front of things meme.
Mm.
And I know that Grant hated the sound of it. I absolutely
love the sound of it.
The sound of it. It does sound like a World War II bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. A bit like Alec, actually, the Asp was my first. I want to concentrate and make this ship good kind of ship that I did. And that back in 2012 or 2013 or whatever it were.
Would it be 2014, mate? It's not. The game's not that old.
Oh no,
it'll be 2015.
Was it as late as 2015?
Yeah. It's 2014 when it was, and it was released.
December 24th. Okay, so yeah, probably be 2015 then.
Yeah.
Kids these days won't understand this, but the Aspects was the first ship that I worked towards. That I seriously worked towards being able to afford to buy.
Yeah, I had to work towards it, but it was also the first one that I felt sort of comfortable taking on any other ship in the game at the time in.
Yeah, because there's the number of ships at that point. If you turned up in the middle of a fight and you were in the Asp Explorer, you basically dominated the combat zone.
Huh?
Things changed a bit when later ships came along. But
we should spin this around for a subsequent week and ask which is your favorite ship to shoot at, because I love being in a combat zone and shooting Aspects because there's such a big flat target. It's
I love, ironically, okay, I know we said we were going to do that, but I love shooting at anacondas, actually. You just pick an anaconda, tab down to its power plant, and then watch them pop.
Yeah. Always a satisfying bounty on an anaconda as well.
Yeah. I must admit, I don't... Yeah, I've taken out anacondas. I've never actually taken out a corvette. I've never taken out a corvette or a cutter yet. I really ought to try.
Yeah, I think I have. I think my trusty Python has managed to down a couple of corvettes. It's a good little fighting, my Python. It's nicely engineered. Anyway.
Well, it's Ben next.
Is it me next? Oh, I've got the gorgeous Sally, and she is quite correct. Her best is the Cobra Mark III because everything else is just pretending, and she ain't wrong.
Yeah.
Cobra Mark III winning by a good 3 points here, I think.
Well, you actually take it down.
No, I should have done. We should have done, but I'm not actually.
We should. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I'll tally it. Don't worry. I'll tally it. Don't worry.
All right, cool.
I've got Safia, who says the Imperial Cutter. A screenshot I saw while researching it made me go, I want that one. So I got that one. Equipped it for Palin's 5,000 light-year unlock trip and fell in love with exploration. Exploring in that cutter is my main activity since. I don't care about Anaconda meta. Don't at me.
Yeah, fuck the Anaconda meta. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can get in the fucking bin.
I need to get my rank to get a cutter. Unbelievably, I don't have the rank to get a cutter, but it's my next... It's nice to still have goals after all this time, so I'm quite glad in a way. But yeah, my next goal after all this buckyballing nonsense and when I'm bored of the Spires is to go and do some Empire rank stuff and get myself a cutter.
Yeah, I don't have the ranking for a Corvette.
Funnily enough, I got that and haven't used my Corvette much. But Cutter seems to be a really good ship for doing this new Spire and Titan stuff. A lot of people in Cutters.
Well, the Cutter, I mean, she's a nice, fast ship. You know, she's definitely got the speed, which in certain situations could be a real benefit, I suspect.
Yeah. It's nice to hear from somebody like Safia, actually, people that have seriously spent like hundreds of hours out in the black in just one ship. You know, I talk about my Python being home, but that's basically around the bubble. So I have lots of options, but these people that go out for months or years on exploration, they're stuck with their ship.
Yes, very much so. Well, I'll take the next one. Silas Reese. He's gone controversial here. Realistically, it's the Cobra Mark IV. He's got 3 of them. It's a small pad allowing the selling of rares to settlements and has enough slots to be a decent miner and an explorer. I just wish I could find get more than 30 light years out of it. Also, it looks amazing. Brackets, fight me. Yeah, I will actually. Looks amazing.
So defensive.
It's all right, isn't it? I've got one. I can't remember what it looks like now. It's not as curvaceous.
It's like a chunky Mark III.
It's got funny arse, hasn't it? It's got like a funny rear end, yeah.
And it's not my favourite ship at all.
We don't kink shame here.
Cobra Mark IV, the ship that's pay to lose.
What did you have to do to get a Mark IV? It's exclusive, isn't it? Did you have to have Horizon?
It's exclusive.
Pre-order Horizon or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, you pre-ordered Horizons for both the Xbox and the PC.
Okay.
There was a lot of controversy that it was never available to the PlayStation people.
Oh.
Yeah. They never offered it to the PlayStation people because that's one of the things that used to come up in the forums all the time was, when are we getting the Cobra Mark IV? And everyone went, you can't have it.
Never.
I didn't know that. I didn't realise that PlayStation couldn't get access to it. That's a bit mean.
No, they can see it, which is they can see it in the game.
Look at it.
They can see mine.
You can look at it. You can see other people flying it. Well, they can't actually because
no, they can't.
They won't have any other people flying it on the PlayStation.
Can't instance with anybody.
No. So
actually,
yes.
Can the PS4, can the PlayStation not instance with the Xbox?
No.
No, of course it can't.
Definitely not.
Of course it can't.
Yeah. I had some weird thinking for a second that hang on, we've got crossplay, but no, we don't.
No, of course we don't. God.
No.
I know.
Wasn't there crossplay for CQC at some point, but it stopped working? Or was that just me having another dream like Ben was?
I don't know.
Oh no, the crossplay is between. Before it used to be that you couldn't have it between proper Odyssey and Elite without Odyssey, not Legacy, but you know.
Yeah, and there was a workaround for that as well, wasn't there? Through that little ED launcher thing, the mini launcher or something.
Yeah, you used to be able to launch it like that, but now they've fixed it so that it doesn't matter if you launch in Odyssey or whether you're launching 4.0 live, you'll still be able to play against each other. But then again, there has been another issue with the matchmaking, which is still causing problems now. But let's move on.
Just a second, because Wotherspoon has just said something in chat which really surprises me.
Did you not know that?
No, is that true? The Cobra Mark IV is the ship you fly in the Odyssey on foot tutorial.
It's the ship that you are the passenger on.
Good heavens.
Yeah. He's got Cobra Mark IV. Yeah.
Oh, so looks like the NPC ordered Horizons then.
Yeah, I really like that. I think it's a really nice little nod to like the legacy of Elite kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, Psychic, you're up next.
Thanks for continually pointing this out to me because I'm bad. We are at J?
J, yep.
Yes, we're
Thank
on J.
you. Rangers GSTQ says the Imperial ships are works of beauty. They always loved the Clipper, but the Courier recently has become their ship of choice. how it feels and looks is still breathtaking.
Oh, I must admit, the Courier is a fantastic little one for doing runs.
It is.
You
It's
know,
the
delivery
ship
runs.
I'm going to use for the next week's Buckyball race, actually, in Unlimited. It's, fast little thing.
So I've got a certain gentleman by the name of Mistake Not, and he's teasing us all by saying the Cobra Mark III, up until the point he got the Federal Corvette, the dirty traitor.
Fair.
He is rightfully saying that the Fed Corvette can do anything, and it's for him at least definitely the best ship in game. That is fair.
Can't land at outposts, but do you really? But you know what? If you're in a Corvette, fuck outposts.
Can't do buckyball races that need to go through tunnels. Suck it.
I mean, I've done a buckyball race that has gone through a tunnel in a Corvette. It took me a while. I had to wiggle it a fair amount, but it managed it.
Go on then. It's me.
It's you.
It's me.
It is you.
G. Hardy says, well, I'm an explorer, so it has to be the Anaconda. So good, it's even the background on my work PC.
Yeah, I will add that.
We have to have one at some point.
Anaconda Explorer meta for the win.
I will add that if you go to the thread, and the thread will be linked in the show notes. If you go to the thread, people have included images of their ships as well in the Twitter shed, including G Hardy and including a couple of other people that have already come up. I obviously didn't include it as part of the text because we're a podcast.
Anaconda still has the biggest jump range, doesn't it? If you
strip it down and put a massive jump, you make it a flying fuel tank. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it's the holder of like the Sajay speed records.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah,
it has to be. Well, that's a funny build with that because it's got a massive jump range. You have to add extra fuel tanks.
What's the deal with the Anaconda? Has it got a bugged hull mass or something?
Actually, yeah, it's got a hull mass, which means that its cargo capacity is greater than the actual mass of the ship itself.
There's something odd about it. Like it shouldn't be able to jump
like that.
far. It really shouldn't be able to jump that far.
But I must admit, I spent a billion credits on my Anaconda, and I never fly it. I can't stand flying it, and I'm just there thinking, why did I spend that? That money should go towards my fleet carrier. But I can't. I never fly it, but I don't want to sell it either, because then I don't get to use all the skins that have been given for ages.
What if something comes up? But what if something comes up and you need that ship that you've engineered for some reason? That's why I never sell any of my ships. What if it's the hoarders excuse? But what if I'm going to need it in the future?
Yeah. Oh, the Anaconda. Yes, certainly. That's one thing I always got a bit confused about. That everybody would race. You've got to get an Anaconda. You've got to get an Anaconda when they just start, and I'm just there going, no, you don't. It's not the best ship to fly.
I feel like to some extent because I'm sure I'm right in saying this, because the Anaconda isn't locked behind a rank and it's the only big three that isn't one of the big three that isn't locked behind something. It's something that is tangible to aim for just through making money. Yeah. And I think that's probably the mentality with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. I mean, people don't count the Type 9 and Type 10 as the big three.
It's desirable. Well, we didn't have a 10 originally, but the 9 was not a desirable ship unless you were bulk cargo.
Yeah. We've got Alex Downs. He's gone for the Crate Mark II because it's as nimble as a hummingbird, and if I kit it outright, nothing can touch it. His is called HMS Rodney. You may have heard of it.
Cool.
Yes. Cool. I mean, this is the thing about the Crate Mark II. It's the ship that I use the most, but it's not my favourite.
Yeah. It's versatile.
It's versatile. Yeah, it's very versatile. You can just flip things left, right, and centre to fit certain roles. But it's not the ship that I want to fly. It's the feel that it's the ship I have to fly. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a nice cockpit as well, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Commander Strayer says probably the Imperial Carrier. It's such a fast yet tanky ship. They've flown theirs to and from Colonia, while it also has firepower and shields to place top 25% of bounty hunting CGs, but yet fast enough still to run from glaives. It's their R-wing. Just wish it had a second seat.
Wing. Is that the A-wing?
I don't know.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm probably horribly wrong. Isn't R-wing a very fast Lord of the Rings horse?
I'm going to Google it.
I'm sure that's unless an R-wing is a certain fighter from, say, I don't know, Star Fox.
The R-wing is the personal super high performance combat spacecraft used by members of the Star Fox team.
There you go. Yes, yeah, I get that. I must admit.
What idiot said Lord of the Rings? Honestly, what a plum.
I mean,
what I do like about the Imperial Courier is that when I'm wanting to disrupt people's operations in power play, that's the ship I choose. That's the ship I go bounty hunting.
It's like small pads, isn't it?
Yeah, bounty hunting or basically screwing up other people's power play. That's the ship I use because I normally get in, hit, run away, and let them curse in my wake. Ben? Oh, you should like this one.
Yeah, sorry, I'm enjoying watching a barnacle breathe at the moment. So Tony is saying that he really likes the Imperial Cutter. Just like other people on the... Oh god, I've just got yeeted. Just like Psychic's very favourite ship, the Corvette, the Cutter can also do everything. It's just a little bit faster and a little bit less. I'm going to shoot you in the face. But you know, they're right. And you have to admit, the Cutter is a hell of a sexy ship to look at as well.
It is, yeah. I am looking forward to getting mine and taking screenshots of it.
Yeah, sure. It is a very... The Corvette is raw power. The Cutter is elegant.
You went very high there, Ben.
I did go high there.
Coyote BW says the Python is the definition of jack of all trades. It sure is. I have one for trading, combat, AX, and exploration. Also, it's hard to explain, but the cockpit just looks like it's the most comfortable of all the ships. I own 5 and have no regrets. I know what he means. The cockpit's got wooden inlay and I don't know. It feels quite old school, like an old school Jag or something.
Yeah, well, now that I've got the detail rammed all the way up, you can see all the scratches and marks all the way through the cockpit. I mean, even the so-called the logo at the bottom of the screen has got the kind of rusted feel around it. It feels like an Austrian Allegro that's been kind of rusted a little.
Yeah, very comfy, the Python. You almost expect there to be a log fire at the back. Or at least one of those modern wood burner stoves, maybe.
Right, we've got Ken Dobson. He's come out with a classic Cobra Mark III as he flew it in the original Elite on the BBC Micro. So that's winning at the moment for its tally.
That's such a nostalgia trip. We talked about that earlier, didn't we? About it being it's been a really good transition. We have Norm Mack who says the T9 because they love the view from the ship, great for trade and mining. Also, it was the only ship they used in VR after finding out VR made them L.
Interesting.
So did that work? Was that the one that
worked?
More
space, you're less claustrophobic.
Maybe.
Yeah, it would be, and also it's a lot more stable.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
actually, T9 was the first ship I dabbled in a little bit of flight assist off. I think a few people have said this because it's so slow to react. You know, one of your problems when you first turn flight assist off is just getting into uncontrollable spins, or whereas the T9, because it's so slow to react, is actually a really good flight assist off trainer ship.
It is actually. I've always found that in order to dock quickly, I just boost towards the station and go into free flight assist off, and then just line up, switch flight assist back on again. And that saves a heck of a lot of faffing about with the T9. And the one thing that I will say about the T9, the cockpit is amazing. Especially when you're in VR and you're looking about and you can see the other two chairs further down and the view out the front window. Yeah, it's great.
What I forget sometimes as well is that the cockpits have different acoustics. So the big cockpits have much more of an echo. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
So Commander Bolo Petunias is saying, it's the DBX for me. It's small, agile with a size that means it's perfect for finding a landing spot on rough terrain. And what the hell was that? And when engineered, it can jump with those best of the biggest lumbering ships. Finally, it's a Lacon ship, so it has that classic cockpit canopy profile and view. And yeah, then they ain't wrong. The DBX is a glorious ship as well.
It is great. I just realised I think that's the first shout out for the DBX, and I use mine a hell of a lot.
I think it was a late surger, the DBX. We might get a couple.
Yeah.
Must have never flown it.
Never flown it?
You've never flown it?
Never flown the DBX.
I've never flown it in anger.
The only thing that's odd about it, because I use my DBX a lot because I'm jumping around a lot. Like at the moment, I'm jumping around all the different Spire sites, so I want something with a bit of jump range. So it's brilliant for that. The only thing is, its bloody fuel scoop makes it actually slower than something that takes more jumps. But I always forget that and just suck it up. Anyway, Peace Terminator, yes, says the Python, jack of all trades, more or less. Pricing is a bit hefty and it lacks a fighter hangar, but it's a reliable go-to when you need something done and don't want to invest in a new ship on the first occasion. Embrace Python supremacy.
No.
You know what I think is the best thing about the Python? It can land on medium pads.
Yeah.
And it has a massive cargo bay.
It's an interesting trade-off, isn't it? It can land on mediums, but it doesn't have a fighter hangar. Both slightly surprising, but
on my Power Play Commander, I've got a Python as well as an Imperial Clipper, and the Python is always used for doing the trade runs because you always seem to be able to get better prices from the outposts, where in the mining outposts, rather than trying to find somewhere with a larger ship. And it's been a blooming godsend for getting the funds up to the right level.
The Python used to be my most flown ship.
Yeah. Right. So it's Commander Chirpy Vader. He says it has to be the DBX. So it's another for the DBX. It's the default for anything I need to do because it just eats up the miles and it keeps on coming back to it. I'm going to have to try the DBX at one point.
It's a good ship.
It is.
Good ship. You like it. You like it a lot. We have Greg Rickshaw, who says, although it's been a very long time since they used one, the Cobra Mark III will always be their favourite. It represented the moment the whole game changed for them when they finally got out of the Sidewinder. They still have their original Triggers Broom Cobra parked up and safe. Triggers Broom!
The Collins Cobra is still stuck at Lave Station. My ultimate engineered Cobra that I've had from day one in Elite Dangerous. I never sold it. It's still in at Lave Station that I occasionally take out. So yeah, it's the Cobra. Ben?
Yeah, the right. Ulti Ferocity is saying the Crate Mark II is their favourite ship to go Thargoid hunting in, and I make sure I don't get hit there. To go Thargoid hunting in, and it does packs a real punch in terms of 4 firepower with 4 medium-sized shower cannons. It also just looks amazing.
It's really fun. It's a really good anti-Xeno ship.
It's got a good range of paint jobs for the crate. I think it might have one of the biggest ranges of paint jobs actually.
I think it's the Cobra, the Asmark, the Asp Explorer, and of course, the Crate Mark II do seem to be the ones that got the most paint jobs.
I could be wrong. We should do a little count up at one point.
Oh, okay, if you want to.
Yeah, maybe.
Another tally. We're doing another tally.
Another tally. Tony DiMaggio says the Crate Phantom, super versatile, great jump range. I think it's the most underrated ship in the game. Is that true? I'm not sure that's true. Maybe. People do tend to go with the Mark II rather than the Phantom, don't they, I suppose?
Well, it depends. Again, if you like exploring and you don't want to use an Asp Explorer, then normally the Crate Phantom seems to be a better option.
I wouldn't say that it was underrated.
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
I guess because I use mine all the time.
I know. I think people tend to hear the Mark II mentioned more than the Phantom, so it does go a little bit unsung, maybe. But I think there's other ships that are actually. I was going to say there are other ships that are more underrated, but there are certainly more ships that are mentioned less. But whether they're actually good, think about that. Next week's question: what's the most underrated ship in the game? Right.
Oh, maybe.
Colin.
Mark Gamer is I largely ignored the DBX starting out, but I recently found myself flying it a lot. It's great for exobio. I don't like spending time in the SRV as it gives them motion sickness, but the DBX negates the need for an SRV due to its ability to land virtually anywhere. So it's DBX for him. Yeah, that does seem to be the advantage of the DBX. You can just put it down anywhere.
I use it for exobiology as well. Actually, it's it's just got a really nice small footprint, landing footprint, and it's got the range to go places. Great.
Yeah, I use it specifically for doing Guardian sites now. That's literally it.
Actually, for Guardian sites, it's got the hard point on the top as well, which is really
it does.
the
point defense you can pop right on the top of the back, and it's it's perfect for it. I would never. I have taken other ships, but I get not making it a spur of the moment decision and just fucking off in my Phantom to do it. I would always take the time out to go and get the DBX to go and do it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of Phantoms, Tala says it's a great Phantom. They love the way it looks with the thruster bank on the back, and they love the way it handles. There's also something about being in the cockpit of one that feels right, like they're supposed to be there. I like that. I like the fact in the Great Phantom that you're central. Any ship that you're central in the cockpit of is a bonus to me. I don't like feeling asymmetric. Doesn't hurt as much in the
Phantom. This whole thing without mentioning asymmetry.
Yeah, no, fuck it. Doesn't hurt as much in the Phantom, but in the FDL, that can get in the bin for me because of that big bar that is of asymmetry. That does my head in. I don't like it.
Cobra off center.
Cobra's off center. Yep. Not fun. I don't like it.
So Captain Ply is saying that their favourite ship and the only one that they've flown in the last 3 years is the Crate Phantom, unengineered. It's the most fun ship that I have flown, and it carries everything I need.
Amazing.
I'm impressed that it's an unengineered one.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a kind of policy decision of I'm not going to. I guess it is. Interesting.
Yeah, as you say, interesting.
Evan says, got to be the chief. A win for Evan. I'm claiming you are Arthur Tolmie in disguise. Got to be the chief. I've spent the most time in the Annie, but I've had the most fun in the chief. Good looking ship, the Chieftain.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I was really, really surprised when it came along. They announced it as part of the Beyond season, and when it came out, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I kind of built the Chieftain. Sorry.
Did the Chieftain and the Challenger come out at the same time?
The Chieftain came out first with the Challenger, and the other one's coming out afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, they were supposed to be the Alliance. They were supposed to be Alliance ships behind some kind of Alliance ranking, but they scrapped that and just gave it to everybody.
I built the Chieftain as my, because I wasn't using it and I wanted to use it for something, so I souped it up as my Titan runner, and it's been good to a point. It's falling a little bit short at the end, where just on power and it's could do with a few more slots and a bit more juice, but it's been good for that.
Excellent. Well, we've got Commander Homburger here. I really like my hauler. I will be exploring in it exclusively once I get to Colonia. It feels like a reliant Robin, and I wish Frontier would release a Yellow Trotters Independent Trading Company paint job for it.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I like it.
Yeah, so only if you call your ship the Lovely Jubbly.
Lovely jubbly, amazing. Amazing. Napilius says the DBX, small, runs cool, jumps far, sturdy, looks apart, and one of the few ships that still forces you to make outfitting compromises.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is a late surge, the DBX. It's
yeah, I've totted them all up. I know who the winners are.
Amazing.
Right.
So Happy Moon Monkey, is saying the dolphin. I think that's the first of the dolphin, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's such a happy ship, and it'll bring a smile to anyone's face. Now that the dolphin is actually a ship that I've never bothered with.
It's the little one of the 3 passenger ships.
It is. It's a small passenger. And I, when they came out, I just jumped straight into the beluga because I could, basically. But I feel a bit like I've missed something with the dolphin.
It's quite cute. I've got a dolphin, my little Champagne Charlie. It's not a bad racer, actually.
I've heard very good things about it. I've never.
Is it the dolphin that's got the nice kind of passenger cabin ding as the part of the boost sound?
I don't know. I thought the dolphin. One of them doesn't it sort of cry or scratch or makes a weird noise when it boosts anyway.
There's also a ding, like the passenger. Yeah, it's cool. Cheb's Will. Haven't we had Cheb's Will already? Anyway, Cheb's Will says the Adder. It's a great all-rounder that can land at any station or ground base. You can use it for nearly any task equally well. If taxi drivers use them, they must be good for a few 100,000 light years before needing an overhaul. There you go, Colin. A vote for the Adder.
Just wrong.
Just don't.
Yeah, I've included it. We've got Commander Decamper, the Crate Phantom, another one, because it's so light and its jump range is great. Looks awesome, and best of all, its very existence in screenshots annoys ARF.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, my favourite one, it's the Imperial Clipper. It's not the fastest ship. It's certainly not the most manoeuvrable. I'm just in it for the looks, because it's like a swan. There's a lot of work going on, but it just looks very graceful as it flies. And when I'm out in the black exploring, I'm glad to see a beautiful, beautiful work of art landing in front of me, rather than a scrappy Asp Explorer or DBX.
Yeah.
I think I've misused my Imperial Clipper, and I need to fall back in love with it again, because I used it as my core mining ship, which it fails at miserably. A, because the convergence of its hardpoints is appalling, and it's not that maneuverable or neat. When you're trying to nip around a blown core asteroid, trying to get in amongst it, it's not the easiest ship to use for that either.
No. Right, do you want another tally?
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, I'm going to do this in reverse order. In third place, with 4 votes, we have the DBX.
Oh.
Yes, 4 people like the DBX. In second place, the Cobra Mark III.
Oh.
Oh, there is a surprise, yes.
That is a surprise, yeah.
topping out the number one just to piss Arf off, we have the Crate Phantom.
Incredible.
No way. No way.
Yeah, so there we are. Special mention goes to the Crate Mark II, because that was the next one on the list. But yeah, it does seem that like the Crate people do like the Crate Phantom.
It's a fun ship.
It is. I'm not disputing that.
It's a fun ship. I don't want to do a question like there's been a couple of suggestions in chat for sort of like what's the least favorite ship, what's the worst ship, and all of that kind of shit. We don't want to do that because this kind of like interaction thing is like erring on the side of positivity, like saying about things that we love about Elite, which is it's just and sometimes, let's not joke, sometimes we have been known on this show to be a mite negative an occasion. On the seldom occasion that something grinds our gears, we do have a propensity to articulate it. That said, this section we like to talk about nice things and fun things. So I'll figure out something for next week.
What's your favourite bug?
My favourite bug's a dead bug.
Well, we'll figure out something. I've seen a couple of cool suggestions in chat, so I might nick some of those.
And we all know the worst ship in the game is the Asp Scout anyway, so you know. It'd be a very short question.
Yeah, it would be a difficult thing to.
No, every single time I remember listening back to Flight Assist, worst ship in the game, Asp Scout.
And we did a tally at one point. I'm not going to go back and listen to it and try and find out which one it is, but we certainly did do a tally at one point. Oh man, those were the days. But yeah, we'll figure out something. We'll figure out something for next week. Keep an eye on Twitter and on our Discord, because those are the two places that I post them. I don't post them anywhere else, and I don't collect them from anywhere else. So if you're answering somewhere else, I ain't going to see it.
Excellent. Right. Quickly, any other business? Ben, you've got something?
Yes. Let me. Sorry, can you do the other one? And I'm going to get myself to a relatively safe position.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I got to focus on this.
Well, as we've been following the Dex legacy, I came across something the other day, which in my injured state I've been listening to a lot. And back in the old days, there were two big BioWare D&D RPGs which people raved about. One, of course, was Baldur's Gate, but the other one was Planescape Torment. The other one was Planescape Torment, which everybody reckoned was better, but weirder. Well, it turns out that Revenica GM is producing an audio drama based on the game. It follows the nameless one as he just tries to discover who he is and how to survive in the city of Sigil. I do believe Planescape is actually making a comeback in D&D at the moment. I've noticed source books appear again. I haven't seen source books for that thing for 20 years. Anyway, we've got full details of his patron, and the podcast can be found. We'll put a link in the show notes, but it's easy enough on any of your podcatchers, so give it a listen, especially if you like that old RPG. Right, back to Ben.
Right, so bit of a slightly personal one here. So the Black Hut is a local community center where my kids are learning karate, and they've just found out it needs several £1,000s worth of repairs. It's kind of a community center for the local area, which also does things like it's got slimming world, go guides, and things like that. But the building is very, very tired, shall we say. So if anybody's got a few quid going spare, and I know very few of us have these days, and you want to go and help a place that helps a lot to the local community, if you go onto GoFundMe and do a search for the Black Hut, I know they'll appreciate any pennies that you can throw their way. And of course, the link to that will be in the show notes.
Excellent. Psyche, any Any other wishes?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Speaking of D&D podcasts, mine is coming back. Well, podcast shows. Mine is coming back on the 5th of November, which is also my wedding anniversary. But D&D won't play itself. So we're doing that. I wonder if I've got anything else coming up that's cool. Gang, it's Halloween next week. Literally Halloween on show day.
Uh-oh.
What are you thinking?
I'm just saying, if you want to come in costume, come in costume. I'm joking. Please don't dress up, because we can't see it because we're a podcast. But I'm just saying it's Halloween next week. So
I'm in costume today. I've got my Halloween face on.
That's no different from your usual face.
On my ship.
Quite. Yeah, so it's Halloween next week. Actually, Halloween. So yay! How exciting!
Yee.
That means I'm going to be getting up and giving kids sweets every 5 minutes during the show.
No, we start at 8:30. They should be long gone by then. They should be in bed.
What I want to know
in bed or comatose with sweets by that point.
What I genuinely want to know: how come you're not allowed to trick the little bastards?
Because
it's trick or treat.
Because
it's a trick. Parents are there,
and their parents are there, and they're going to punch you in your nose, and you will deserve it.
Hey, trick or treat is not. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's Halloween. It's Halloween next week. So
I just go to the door with a pack of cards, and when they say that, I just say, "I'll do a trick. Pick a card, any card."
Yeah.
You guys must be really fun at parties.
Sorry, kids, I ain't got any apples, but any apples, any sweets, but have some wasabi peanuts. It's true, I haven't actually got any sweets.
Oh, good talk.
Yeah, we found that in order to, when we ran out of sweets, we started offering the kids fruit, and then word got around that don't go to that place. They give you satsumas. All right, so we will go.
Yeah, as a rule of thumb, I actually quite enjoy trick or treating with the kids, walking around with them and things. But as a rule of thumb, the only place we go is either places that we know, or if somewhere's gone off and made an effort to put Halloweeny stuff out, then you can assume they're not going to mind going trick or treating. Whereas if it's a random house with not even pumpkins outside, it does feel a bit cheeky to me.
Fair enough. Right, let's do our shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me Elite Dangerous CQC. Giving a shout out to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, so that's the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. There's also Loose Screws, and I'd like to put a special mention out to the Pixel Bandits, who've now been going for 8 years. They still play Elite Dangerous, but they don't cover it as much anymore. But you find them at pixelbandits.org. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd just like to thank everyone who's chipped in the Twitch chat. And how many in-game commanders have been helping you out, Ben? It looked quite busy there.
It's fucking busy, so I don't think any of them are actually
listening to the show.
Probably not. I mean, we're all. You might have noticed it's a bit of a war zone out there, and we're all getting a little bit distracted.
Well, it is a war.
Yes,
it is a war.
It does look fantastic fun.
It is a lot of fun.
I have to admit, I have been having a blast, pun intended. But yeah, it's a lot of I've done nothing of the special Spire stuff, but I've been having a blast just shooting everything that's Thargoid related, and gliding occasionally in the way that bricks don't.
Yeah, that's how I lost my clipper on Saturday. A little bit close to the ground when I got hit. Anyway, special thanks, of course, to Commander Tokuso, Jay and Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music that we use in the show. So that's it for yet another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find the contact links on the home/contact us menu on the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you've got any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out on laveradio.com/live. So thanks to Ben.
Thank you, Colin. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Bass Avic, who went yee when Little Biggie said it's on Lave Radio.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, thanks to Psychit.
Thank you.
And thanks to Alice.
Who the fuck is Alice?
Thank you, Colin. Don't forget, Buckyball Race starts Saturday. Those prisoners ain't going to break themselves out of jail.
And special thanks goes to today's tech specialist, the wonderful Sudnik Pontiago. I have got that completely wrong, Patrick.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
You have. That was incredible. That fits. It works.
Potnick, I am so sorry.
And good night to Fallen George.
Good night. Honestly, it's
a good night from him.
Happy Tuesday. Wow.
I'm still blaming the drugs. Right. Until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word. Space can be done. I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 24th of October 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, the number of survivors being rescued from the Titans is turning into a problem. There's concern that the curse of the Thetis might be about to reawaken. And there are calls to ban sales of the Alliance Chieftain after serious design flaws were identified.
While many commanders have been exploring the new Thargoid Spire sites, Aegis has been trying to work out what to do with the thousands of people rescued from the Thargoid Titans. Although there is no indication that these people, who were abducted by the Thargoids and placed in life support pods on board one of the 8 Titan hive ships and subsequently rescued by technology jointly developed by Aegis and the Sirius Corporation, have been indoctrinated by the Thargoids or infected with anything like the mycoid virus, the Federation, Empire and Alliance are nonetheless insisting that they be kept in secure medical facilities. The fear of a Thargoid-controlled fifth column or of some terrible disease using the released captives as vectors and the limited space in secure hospitals is likely to reach crisis point within weeks. Either those who have been confirmed healthy must be allowed to resume their previous lives, and in some cases to return to their home systems if it's one of the systems that have been cleared of Thargoids, or the effort to rescue more captives must be halted. Even if they have already been demonstrated to be healthy and free from any form of Thargoid contamination, those released may be viewed with suspicion and may find themselves discriminated against. It's an unsettling thought that these people have been kept alive by Thargoids, sometimes for months. Were they really just kept in storage, or had the Thargoids already started to put whatever their plan was into effect? What if these captives have been hypnotised by the Thargoids, and that on a given signal they attack their fellow humans? The distrust is understandable. Perhaps Seojin A, who has some ability to sense the Thargoid hive consciousness, may be able to provide answers before all available secure facilities are full to overflowing.
We have an emergency situation on board. Some kind of epidemic. It's driving people insane. I've managed to source it to a digital signal that keeps broadcasting within the comms array. It started on C deck, but now the entire population of Deck C to F have been massacred. They just went crazy and started killing each other.
There's renewed scrutiny of the wreck of the generation ship Thetis, after suggestions were made this week that the mysterious fate that befell its passengers and crew might still be a danger to modern spacefarers. The Thetis is one of the flotilla of ancient generation ships that set out from Earth and Mars to attempt to colonize the galaxies in the years before faster-than-light travel became a reality. The vastness of interstellar travel meant that the journey to a new planetary home would take far more than a single lifetime, so these ships were to be the home to generations of colonists as they made their way slowly through the vast emptiness of space. The ships had a huge wire shield to deflect any galactic debris that might otherwise have vaporized the ship's hull, and massive engines to slowly accelerate the gigantic ship until it reached the midpoint of its journey. Ironically, when many of the colonists arrived at their new homes, they found that later travellers, now equipped with faster-than-light engines, had colonized the planets centuries earlier. But some of the generation ships never arrived. Thetis is one such ship. Logs that can still be listened to explain that a strange whispered phrase that sounded something like the words, "Kill them all," inexplicably drove everyone on the ship into a frenzy of mutual annihilation. 17,401 people died in a bloodbath on board the Thetis. The source of the message that caused this mass hysteria is reported to be a planet some 15 light-years back towards Sol from the present position of the Thetis in the Nefertem system. The rumours are that the source of this strange whispered command may still be broadcasting, waiting for someone else to pick up the transmission and for yet another set of victims to die to fulfill its insatiable bloodlust. Commanders who choose to visit the hulk of the Thetis to listen to the logs are warned that while the first 4 logs are safe, they should under no circumstances listen to the 5th. Here is an excerpt from the 3rd log that explains the source and nature of the signal. This log is safe to listen to.
I've done it. I've managed to decrypt the signal and identify the source. But it's even more confusing than I thought. The signal originates from an uninhabited planet we passed 15 light years ago. Who sent it and how it managed to infect the comms array, I have no idea. That's the good news. The bad news is I heard the message. I was trying to run it through the translator and I forgot the speaker was on. It's the same message relayed again and again and again. It's more a whisper than anything else. It says, kill them all.
There have been calls to ban the use of the Lakon Alliance Chieftain after research conducted by Commander Sovereign Winter of Cannon Research showed that the ship is a potential death trap. The stubby chieftain, which resembles a breeze block holding 2 bricks with outstretched arms, is, despite the apparent presence of wings, remarkably unaerodynamic. In space, its form is irrelevant, and it performs well in roles such as an anti-Xeno fighter. However, as soon as it's flying in an atmosphere, everything changes. The wind tunnel models indicate that this piece of flying masonry has low lift and high drag. It only just manages neutral pitch, yaw and roll stability, making it virtually impossible to fly without computer assist, although this does make it exceptionally manoeuvrable. The biggest problem, however, is the combined bow shockwaves from the fuselage and the nacelles. The forward-facing thrusters on the nacelles present a flat face to the wind, and the stubby cockpit area isn't much better. The high-energy hypersonic shockwaves from the nacelles and from the main fuselage converge upon the wing struts, and under atmospheric operating conditions, the wings could be expected to become superheated and to fail catastrophically within a few minutes of operation. Those flying the Alliance Chieftain are urged, for their own safety, to fly their ships at no more than 50 meters per second, until Lakon has had time to investigate this extremely dangerous design flaw.
And that's this week's extremely spooky Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news, so you don't have to. Woo.